Yahushua declares, bear witness, make a declaration of faith, profess agreement, and bind yourself to a promise. Pledge a solemn oath, and I shall bear you up to hold, support, and sustain you. You shall bear my resemblance, exhibiting my visible characteristics, and I shall bear you away to transfer and carry you from one place to another. Bear this in your conscious mind, give birth to it, and produce fruit. I shall bear down on you to exert my influence upon you, and I shall forge you as metal or gold in a furnace at high temperature, that you bear and endure pain and hardships with tolerance and patience, that you withstand difficulties with resoluteness of spirit, possessed of unfailing strength. Your strength is sufficient to defend you. My grace is sufficient for thee to bear evil manfully. There is therefore no reason you should ask for its removal. Be convinced without a doubt and at peace. Be happy, appreciative, thankful, and accepting of your situation and life with equanimity. There is a barrier or barricade around you, a protective structure to impede the advance of an enemy, and I shall bear you up to elevate you and take you away. This is earnest, marked by showing deep sincerity and seriousness, a promise and assurance, a pledge and guarantee by solemn binding promise. This is a sign and token binding you as a fellow member of the brotherhood, guild, and order. You shall exchange pledges with Christ, solemn promises binding you together as kindred, to enweave and blend you together, to combine and be interwoven, to have fellowship and share in joint experiences. Be surety for me, O Lord. Take me under thy protection. Be surety and liable for my debt. I pledge my life to expose it to the most imminent danger, and you shall be surety for my life. This is my mortgage, my death pledge, as security for performance of my obligation and repayment of my debt. Christ shall occupy, seize possession of, and maintain control over me. He shall dwell and reside within me. Solemn, this is my pledge and my solemn promise. I agree and commit myself to Christ. I take upon myself this task, this marriage contract, formal agreement, and betrothal. I take upon myself God's countenance, self-assurance, confidence, and outward appearance. I take upon myself His sign and presence, His vestige and bodily manifestation, His title, office, rank, hereditary privilege, and noble birth, to be consecrated, dedicated, and initiated as priest with the sign of the cross. I acquiesce and consent to the stipulations and provisions in this agreement. I am His vessel and instrument given in pledge. We shall be without seam, not sewn together with a needle, seamless and perfectly consistent, smoothly continuous and flowing, uniform in quality. We shall stick together harmoniously as coherent light, having one wavelength, one kinetic energy, one source of strength, and spiritual illumination, abounding in colors and brilliant, vivid and striking, penetrating the darkness. I shall pierce and cut the wicked with the sword, affecting them deeply and emotionally, and I shall smite and afflict them with punishments as the Alpha and Omega. Yahushua declares, this moment is just before the time in which we are speaking. Just now we shall be mixed together. The showbread, the bread from heaven, shall be fed to the children. Yahushua declares, I am the nourishment and sustenance which sustains life. Jesus, the divine bread come from heaven, containing in myself the source of heavenly life, which supplies celestial nutriment to souls that they may attain to life eternal. I shall bear you up and carry you off. I shall remove your guilt and the punishment of sin through expiation, causing that sin to neither be imputed nor punished. You shall test their beliefs and put them to proof, to examine and sift them through tribulations. You shall dispute with them and vex them with grievous pains of the body and mind, to torment and harass them. You shall test their metal, the purity of their gold, by tormenting the wicked through acute pains as an instrument of torture, by which they will be forced to divulge the truth. When you walk in my footsteps as a supernatural being, appearing as a spirit, at my return I will be master and king of your castle. This is how it has been from the beginning, and this is your original nature, character, and primal form, your ancient condition. You are the first and beginning of all things from the commencement of life. You are an archangel, the first place principality, a sovereign prince with authority, given charge over angels and demons, the chief angel placed over the rest. You are the first leader of the highest order, first in rank and superiority, and as a chief you shall rule and reign. You shall subjugate and dominate them. You shall tower above them and dwarf them in size. Govern with authority. Exercise your sovereign power. Triumph and prevail. Amen. Shalom.